Good afternoon, YouTubers, and welcome to the David Swordplay Garage. Now today we're going to do a bit of motorcycle maintenance on the old V85TT. We're going to change the front fork oil. Quite an involved operation, so if this is something that would interest you, join us after the intro. So YouTubers, here's a selection of the tools we're going to use to do the fork oil change with. So we've got a 30mm socket on a brake bar to crack the wheel nut, a 24mm socket on a brake bar for getting the caps off. We've also got torque wrench, 1/2-inch drive torque wrench for doing the brake calipers and wheel nuts. We've got a 3/8 drive torque wrench for doing the pinch bolts and the top caps on the forks. 10mm socket for taking the front fender off. T25mm torque for the ABS sensor, and an 8mm Allen socket for the brake calipers, and a 6mm for the pinch bolts. So basically, and a 2.5mm Allen key for getting the little bracket off that holds the ABS cable. We've got our fork coil, 7.5 weight, or winter if you like, 7.5W. Fork coil as recommended by Moto, Guzzi, a measuring jug, a permanent white marker for marking the bolts with after we've tightened them up, and a pair of work gloves to stop us getting the nasty oil on our hands. So there it is. And also we've got a micrometer. We're going to measure the top, how far the fork leg comes through the triple tree or yoke, so that we can actually set it bob on when we put it back into the bike. Now there's several operations we need to do to be able to get at the pinch bolts on the front suspension forks. So we need to take this top fender off. It's held on to the bike by 4 10mm nuts underneath. That's quite a simple operation. Just undo those, drop the fender down. You need to take these, I don't know whether you can see them or not on the camera, there's two little plastic clips which hold the brake lines to the top of the fender here. They need to come off. I'll just take one off. That's what they look like. They just push through a little hole in the side of the fender. They're quite tricky to get off. You're going to try and get them off without breaking them. Anyway, that's what you need to remove on both sides, and then you can take this front fender off. So I've now removed the ABS sensor. We've put the little bracket Allen screw and the T25 torque screw back into the lower stanchion so we don't lose them. This is the ABS sensor. Just make sure you don't trap it or damage it in any way. We're now going to crack off the wheel nut using a 30mm socket, and we're just going to crack it so we can take the wheel out after we've taken the brake calipers off and pushed the axle out. So we're going to crack it now while the wheel's on the floor, because it's torqued up quite tight. So we're going to use a 3/4 inch bar with an adapter on it and we're just going to slowly undo that knot. So there we go, it's undone. Just leave it snugged up for the minute. So the next step is now to take the brake calipers off. Okay YouTubers, you can see now we've got the brake calipers off. I've just wrapped a bungee cord around the engine bars and hung them on a bolt. You can see the ABS sensor there too out of the way. So we've now got the wheel ready to come out. We need to jack the bike up a little bit. I've put a little trolley jack under the sump plate with a piece of wood on it just to give us a bit of lift so we can actually drop the fork down. So the next step is to take the wheel off, and then we've got to, before we do anything else, I'm just trying to position as if you can see it. I've got this strap up just in case we have a little accident and knock the jack. So we now got to undo this pinch bolt here, I hope you can see that, and undo the top cap about 1.5 turns, just so that we can, it makes it easy when we've actually got the fork out, just to undo that. Okay, so that's what the next step, and so we release these pinch bolts first because obviously that triple tree is clamping right where the threads go, so we need to release that, undo this 24mm nut here. It's exactly the same on the other side, only there's just a cap on the other side because it has no adjustment on that other fork, on the left hand fork as you sit on the bike. So that's the next step, and then when we've done that and released that cap, we can move down here, undo these 2 pinch bolts here, and then drop the stanchion or the fork leg, if you like, through the triple trees, and then we'll be able to undo the top and drain the oil out. And once again, I'll say, if you're not used to doing mechanical processes like this, please seek advice, because you're messing with things that could be dangerous if you don't do them properly. But obviously, before we take them out, we're going to measure the distance, which looks about 3mm, how far it comes through this triple tree. Okay YouTubers, we're just about to take the left hand side fork leg out as you sit on the bike. This is just a capped one with no adjustment on it, so we've loosened the top pinch bolt and we've undone the top cap a little bit, and now we're going to loosen the 2 pinch bolts at the bottom and hold on to the fork in case it slides through. Here it comes. And there she is. Okay, 1 fork. And what we need to do now is undo this cap and pour the oil out. And we're going to try and unscrew this while holding it. I'll just get my socket. Take it nice and easy, and obviously don't be leaning over it just in case the spring decides to detach itself inside. And what should happen now is you'll be able to unscrew the fork tube. There's the rubber seal you can see on top of the fork. Just put that down there. And there's the fork tube now. And that should slide. Nice and easy to the bottom and up. And we're just going to turn it up now and see how much oil's in it. As you can see, it's held on to the like a cartridge fork. So here we go. Is there any oil in there? And it's looking pretty nasty. Okay, so we let that drain into there. Now just purging the damping rod. To get the oil out of that. And now we'll drain that and then put the new oil in, which we'll show you in a minute. So we can see exactly how much comes out of the fork. It's looking very nasty and there's like silvery bits on the top. And once this bit's done draining, we're then going to pump, screw it back up again, pump the fork leg a couple of times. Okay, YouTubers, we've just drained the oil out of the fork tube, and we've managed to get about 300, just over 300 millimeters out of it. So we're now going to top it up with nice fresh oil. So just going to put back, and you can see we'll show you the oil out of the next fork we do, how clean this oil is compared to the oil that was actually in the fork. It was actually disgusting. So that's as we say 300 millilitres, which is what we actually got out of the fork. Now according to Moto Guzzi, we should have about 367 millilitres in there. So we're just going to play safe and put a bit more in. Yeah? You happy?
You're about 301.
Are we?
Yeah.
Well, we'll make it a bit more then. Ready? Yeah. So here we go. I would say be very, very slow when you pour the oil in this side. Nice and gentle. Don't rush it. Don't want loads of air in there. You can see the difference between the old oil and the new oil, so it's certainly worth doing, considering Tony and I will be in the Alps next year and we want good suspension. You can actually see the oil in the top there now.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
bump. Can't hear that clicking.
Did I not just hear it then? No.
Give it a pump. It's certainly got damp in there, hasn't it? Right, settle. It's a good workout, this, YouTubers. Tony's sweating watching me. I can certainly feel damping effect now.
So what do you reckon now then? Take the top off, try and get the last bit in.
Can do. I think my gloves are slipping.
Not a lot, but you slopped a little bit
I did.
before, so
I've certainly disappeared. I think we should drop a tad more in. Do you think?
how much did you slop?
I don't know really, it's hard to tell, isn't it?
A couple of drops.
Yeah. Should be enough, shouldn't it? Okay, so we're just gonna listen for the click, so you turn it anti-clockwise. We need to put a bit of grease around those seals really before we tighten them up, don't we? Should we do rubber grease?
Alright.
Just a little bit on that seal around the top, just to help it seat. And remind me to do the same on the other one.
Do it now while it's open. Wait a minute. I'll swap places with that. You happy with it, that?
Yeah.
Is it moving?
I think so.
Yeah, I ain't got it now.
That's just nipped. Let's have a feel of that now. Well, you can't tell there's no damping effect on that side, is it? It's just a helper spring.
Hang on a minute.
Are we getting there?
Right.
Nipped. Let's have a feel of that one. That's damping, isn't it? It's coming up slow. Right. Turn off now, boss. We're going to have a cup of tea, let them settle. Okay, YouTubers, we've now got the forks back in. It's a simple matter of just easing them up nice and slowly so you don't scratch anything. We've measured the fork protrusion through the top triple tree, and it's equally on each side. So we're just going to nip these pinch bolts up to the right torque so we can lower the bike down, bounce it up and down, settle everything before we actually tighten the wheel up and put the calipers back on. We've measured the height that they're going through the top yoke, and they're both set at 4.5 millimeters. We're now going to torque the bottom pinch bolts. We've put the wheel back on and that's all torqued up. We just need to mount the calipers. We did that because we wanted to settle the forks on the axle. And now we're going to torque these pinch bolts, and then finally we're going to torque the top pinch bolts because we've already tightened the fork leg caps to what we think is the correct torque. It's very difficult to find the torque setting, but we've kind of come up with one and we're quite happy with them. So we're now just going to torque these pinch bolts up, which according to Moto Guzzi should be 25 Newton meters. And that's that one. And that's that one. That's no good. That's that one. And that's that one. So now we move on to the top ones. Just need to move the suspension leg around, and same torque setting. That's that one. Back to the other side. This one's proving a little bit stubborn. And there we go. So that's all the pinch bolts torqued up, the top caps on the fork legs torqued up, the axle is torqued up. 80 Newton meters is the setting, Moto Guzzi setting for that. Pinch bolts on the axle tighten up. So now we've got to put the brake calipers back on, and it's road test time. So there it is, folks, an oil change done. Quite happy with the results. The oil was quite filthy. So now I just need to put the fender back on and the calipers back on. We'll just show you, run through the caliper procedure, because you need to get the calipers centered on the discs, and there's a way of doing that. So we'll just get them in position, and then we'll turn the camera back on, and we'll show you what to do. Okay, YouTubers, we just mounted the calipers. Now the procedure to get your calipers in the right position, these are radially mounted calipers. There's no pin or anything to hold them into place. So it's just a case of tightening the bolt up. But to do that, we need to pump the brake. Tony's going to hold the brake for me while I tighten the caliper bolts up. Because we've just left them snug now, so they can move a little bit and get the pad surfaces completely flat on the discs. So we've now got them locked up. So we now just put a bit of on both sides, as you can see. We'll set them to correct torque later. Okay, so if Tony releases the brake now, we should have a nice even sound as you go around. You can hear it's not going ch-ch-ch. So just apply the brake again, Tony. Perfect. So that's the way you make sure your calipers are aligned. So all we need to do now is to mount the ABS sensor, which is just a reversal of what we showed you for taking it off, and put the fender back on, and then we're ready for a road test. So thanks to Tony for coming along to help me with the end bit of this operation. Thank you to Dave Moss Tuning. I'll put the link to Dave's YouTube channel in the description below, and you'll see all these procedures as he does them. He's certainly a lot more experienced than I am with motorcycle suspension, and we'll let you know the outcome of, has it altered the ride, does it feel better when we've had a little run somewhere. So this is David Swordplay. So if you like this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and we'll catch you in the next video.